Are you ready?
Here it is, heaving it up in the end zone, trying to get He makes the catch!
Hey, think you can tell us what to do?
He has this year. Branson on the quarterback draw. Touchdown, Oregon State.
Well, you better get ready.
Hurdles again, and this time got walloped out of bounds. And some pushing and shoving. Uh-oh, here we go.
Break it down!
Welcome to the College Football X.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of College Football X. You got the whole crew here, the entire college football window of the OSG sports team. Me, Brother Phil, OSG Wilkie, OSG Nelson, and Marty, Brother Marty, at Martin Drzenko on the Twitters.
At martinbutcher.com.
Yes.
Right.
Like and subscribe. On the Twitter for as long as the Twitter still exists anyway, which may or may not be very, very long here, the way things
So
are
if
going.
the Twitters are back next week, those are the handles that we have.
Yes, we may have another social media tagline to add to the collection. But guys, we're in the midst of bowl season. We're already a week in. Marty, you got to catch a game last night.
We're more like a couple of days in.
Yeah,
It just seems like a week.
that Frisco Bowl. They had some interesting stuff out there.
Oh,
Yeah,
There's a new
tell us about the fight.
game. The fight.
Oh, the fight was
You
cute.
gotta like a kicker getting an unnecessary roughness.
I know.
Who's not in on the play? Who's on the sideline?
he's diving into the play just because.
But the whole sideline lit up. We're like, who hit who? Because the one, it was a close play out of bounds, like right on
Yep.
the line, and the guy was, trying to stay in bounds, so he got hit, and then a lot of people took
What
umbrage.
was funny to me is he was trying to hurdle somebody that wasn't there right leading up to it.
Yeah.
We're like, why is he jumping? He's trying to be cute again. Because there was a play in the first quarter where he hurdled a guy and then juked another, and he was on a roll. But I think they just didn't like the disrespect involved there. Kudos to them for having some fire. They kept it interesting going throughout that game.
Yeah, it was a close game, wasn't it?
Well,
Yeah.
Well, the thing was, I mean, Marty, it was what? It was 10-6 at the break. And I think that the late kickoff, because of what was going on in Mobile, kind of set them back a little bit. God knows what it was like for you hanging out there in the stands in Frisco, waiting for a game to kick off at television.
Felt like I was back in Ohio.
and then in the third quarter, 36 points in the third quarter. 36 points. What are you people doing?
They had two
Where
different
was that?
quarterbacks on the one scoring drive. It was crazy, Props to UNT. They got a new coach and a new athletic director in the middle of the week.
and a 29-year-old quarterback.
Yeah.
Austin Awning went 17 and 32 for 238 and 1. But yeah, it's like literally as we're going back and forth with all the other games going on, it's like, first half kind of keeping an eye on things. And then the third quarter was like, oh crap, now it's appointment viewing. And so that's when we locked into it. Other than someone who was at the game in and of itself, let me see if I can find them quickly. Yeah, so we have like proof that Marty was there. Proof that Marty was at the game because he sent me photographs.
Some nice panoramas, some funny shots of my nephew.
Mhm.
They actually there's a new game that just like opened up in Plano, Texas, where it's like a combo of cornhole and bowling. And you throw footballs at the pins.
Oh, they have that here, and I don't remember the name of it.
Stupid.
It was like foaling or something like that. And I'm like, this should be easy. And then it's not as easy as it looks.
I can't imagine it would be.
It was kind of fun, I got to be honest. And then they actually did it during commercial breaks. They have if you're familiar with the Toyota Stadium, they have what would be like a stage for concerts in the one end zone. And they had it set up there, and they had two people from UNT and two people from Boise State. Kudos to their cheerleaders. The girls came out with half tops on in that weather, and game time was about 40 degrees when they kicked off, and it got down about 33.
The Boise,
Towards the third quarter.
the Boise cheerleaders or the UNTs?
Boise.
Okay, well, I mean that makes
Well,
sense.
they're used to it at Boise.
Yeah, I was going to say, Boise's kind of north.
Thing is, after halftime, they came out in sweats.
But guys, that was the last game on Saturday. The bowl season actually kicked off on Friday with a classic at the Bahamas Bowl.
Oh yeah,
The Troy Trojans, your Sun Belt champs, with a win over UTSA, 18-12.
but that
I
was
just- and I loved it how Trent Dilfer was involved, even though he's not really ready to coach yet. But he was on the sidelines and
At the Troy game?
politicking a little bit. Yeah, he was on the sidelines at the ball game.
no, you're mixing your bowl games. He was at the Bahamas Bowl.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
Oh, no, I'm at the Cure Bowl. Sorry.
Phil's
I can't read my own writing.
mixing his locales. He's trying to put the Orlando teams in the Bahamas Bowl at the moment.
Yes.
Well,
But-
I mean, come on. You can only do so much, right?
Only-
So we talking Bahamas or we talking Cure?
Well, we'll get
And is there a
back to
cure for
the
watching the
Cure.
Bahamas Bowl?
Yes, there. No, yeah, yes, we're talking about the bowl games, but no, Dilfer was there. That was great. And you get an ending. It's probably one of the. I mean, why is it the Bahamas Bowl is always the one with the wacky ending, or the ending right there at the edge? Because was it
You been in Nassau?
was it Central? Well, true. Is it Central Michigan, Middle Tennessee State that had the goofy ending? A couple of Bahamas Bowls ago when it was sponsored by Popeyes.
Who keeps track of such things?
Me.
I'm sure somebody does, but I just answered that question. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you've ever been to the Bahamas and Nassau in particular, the fact that the games are a little bit crazy or bonkers should not surprise you.
No. But what a goal line stand at the end to win it by the Blazers. So, yep, fun ending for that one.
It was the first Bahamas Bowl in 2014. Western Kentucky beat Central Michigan on the last play of the game, 49-48. That was the one I was trying to think of.
Okay.
Inaugural.
Uh-huh. That is
And the game that I meant to talk about at the beginning, Troy with the 18-12 win in the Duluth Trading Cure Bowl, not to be confused with The Cure, which would be an 80s new wave band.
best album ever.
True.
I mean, but see, this was a sneaky good game, though. You had two teams in the top 25.
Neither of which came with any offense.
Good defenses. I mean,
Yeah, the defenses were stellar, but the offenses are challenged, which is, I guess, what they'll be working on in spring ball this year.
Yeah.
But again, we're fans of the Sun Belt, and Troy is, typical Sun Belt team. They got that strong defense. Just got to have that offense to go with it. But puts the Sun Belt 1-0 in bowl games at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Right now, a better record than the SEC in bowl games because Saturday's early game, or I shouldn't say early game, but an afternoon game in Las Vegas, Oregon State just absolutely plastered a helpless Florida Gator team 30-3.
That was ugly.
They're not good.
Who didn't see that coming?
No, this was one of the ones I had in one of the higher numbers in my confidence pool. This one was like a 40 or something for this one. I mean, Florida came in 6-6. Oregon State was ranked 14th at 9-3. Oh, absolutely had this one pegged. It's like
the season's been a struggle to begin with for Florida, and then you don't have Anthony Richardson playing and other key players. And Oregon State really put together a nice little winning streak. Became to me, they're a feel-good story of the college football season. What Jonathan Smith has been able to do in a few short years in Corvallis. Now, to me, it was a game where one didn't have their horses and just looked disinterested. The other was motivated, and that motivated team crushed the SEC team. And I think Oregon State can use this as a catapult into next year for 2023 and challenge for the Pac-12 championship. But a great game by Oregon State. And I loved how Billy Napier went for the field goal to keep the scoring streak alive. 436 games.
Yeah,
Without a shutout.
Saying you couldn't score in Las Vegas sounds like some sort of put down, but
Oh,
there is some truth to it.
Well done.
yeah, Jack Miller, that kick and throw, it was just kind of his first playing action all season, right?
Oh yeah.
For Florida. He was amazing in high school.
Why, yes, Marty. It was Miller's first action of the season in Las Vegas.
Without any supporting cast. Hey, now that everybody's declared or transferred, here's the ball.
Yeah.
Transfer,
Go out.
declared.
Let's see what you got.
Yeah.
Hey, kudos to him for, that's a character builder right there.
That's one way of putting it.
Yeah.
The other game that I thought was just absolutely fascinating when we talked about it last week was Louisville and Cincinnati. With Louisville's coach heading to Cincinnati, yet Louisville absolutely, well, I shouldn't say they destroyed the Bearcats. They beat the Bearcats 24-7 in a cold and snowy Fenway Park.
Well, first of all, the game must have been a rumor in Boston because nobody was there. Second of all, not only did the Cardinals take home the Fenway Bowl trophy, they got the Keg and Nails. Remember, this is an old rivalry, the Keg and Nails rivalry that hadn't been played in a while. And the Cardinals got to take the Nails home. The build up to this game was really strange with Scott Satterfield now leaving Louisville and going to Cincinnati. And one thing I looked when I was watching this game is Fenway Park is not a bad football stadium.
No, if you lay it out properly to where you're going from third base line down to right field, and they use the old manual scoreboard in left field to help things out, and that was a nice little touch. It was something that the scoreboard guys had to kind of get a little creative using their baseball spaces for football, and I think it was I read somewhere that if you dropped $40, you got a ticket plus you got a bowl tailgate before and after. So,
where do you tailgate at Fenway?
Yeah.
There's no place to park there.
The parking deck outside of the Green Monster.
Well, even that's a tough place to park.
Mm-hmm.
It's so
They got
limited.
a ballroom underneath or something.
Yeah, well, yeah. There's the bowling alley underneath. You could probably do it there. Yeah,
Okay.
you've got a duck pin bowling alley underneath. Like if you go to the outfield side, then you go underneath, and underneath Fenway Park, at least last time I was there, they had a duck pin bowling alley.
Huh.
Interesting. I did not know that.
That's where you're gonna go potty.
Facts.
Continuing down the list of games, Fresno State 29, Washington State 6 in the Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl, presented by Stiefel.
Yeah.
Stiefel.
Stifle it, dingbat.
All the above.
Good game for Fresno State. I didn't think that they would really kind of dominated the game. Didn't do anything particularly crazy, but a nice performance. Jake Haener had a good game, 24 for 36, 280, and a couple of touchdowns. And Jordan Mims ran for 209 yards.
Washington State was just there for the party.
They were there to meet Gustavo and be in the studio audience for the one edition of the Jimmy Kimmel Show.
Had to see if they could pick out Kimmel in the crowd while he was playing the clarinet with the band.
Oh, I'm sure. Absolutely, I'm sure.
Kudos to him for making it fun.
Oh, I mean, there was you had the dinosaur, you had Guillermo, you had Sal. I mean, Cleto and the Cletones. I mean, what
else is left?
What says bowl game other than all of that? And blatant promotional opportunity for the Jimmy Kimmel Show.
Yeah, you got the money. You too could have your own bowl game.
Yes, that is absolutely true, and you can do whatever you want with it.
moving
Guillermo
up
goes
down the
up
list.
coin. The dinosaur will flip the coin and throw up at the 20. I mean, come on.
Moving up down the list, the Lending Tree Bowl, Southern Miss 38, Rice 24. And the big thing from this game was the performance of a running back with a pretty familiar name, guys. Frank Gore Jr., 21 carries, 329 yards, and a pair of touchdowns.
Chill, Auntie.
Yeah, that was the best stiff arm he had that game.
Was very impressive.
That was awesome.
No, it's well, of
That
course,
was
his
my highlight.
dad, his dad, played for 38 years in the NFL.
True.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean he's out now? I wasn't sure.
He's probably. Well, let's.
Probably on a taxi squad somewhere.
Rams signed him after
Yeah,
Baker
really.
Mayfield.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not so sure he's not playing for somebody at this point.
I'm checking. I'm checking the bastion of journalistic integrity, Wikipedia. He was on the Jets roster in 2020, and that was the last. Man, this Wikipedia entry is long. Okay, so in June, he announced his retirement after signing a one-day contract with the 49ers. So
Yeah, he's up there in the rushing yards in the National Football League. I wouldn't be surprised if, would he go into Canton? I mean, I think he's top 5, top 10 at least rushing in league history.
It's
16.
because he played since the 1950s.
Hey, if you get 16,000 rushing yards, then
Kinda
Yeah,
like-
200 yards a season, it'll add up over the amount of time that he played in the NFL. But his son's picking up the family name. I mean, that was a heck of a performance.
no doubt about it.
Kind of like Emmitt Smith in the Cardinal years.
Yeah, see, I couldn't even say Franco is a Seahawk because he only lasted 8 games. Frank Gore,
Tony Dorsett as a Bronco.
yeah, Frank.
Oh,
Yeah,
God, I forgot about that.
Frank Gore. I mean, he actually was productive, and he was a TD vulture in fantasy leagues. It's like get it down to the 2, give it to Frank. Frank goes in, you get fantasy points. One of the cheapest pickups that you could ever have when it comes to fantasy, and he's an absolute vulture late in his career. Mhm. You think?
Ball security.
You think? Excuse me.
Ball security.
You think I'm kidding? I am not kidding, brother. SMU and BYU were on prime time on ABC. New Mexico, prime time, and ABC. 3 phrases I did not ever anticipate saying all at once.
And again, that game looked like a rumor too in Albuquerque.
Yeah.
What-
BYU with a 24-23 win.
Yeah, it's a great game.
That
Holy
was a
War.
great game.
But what
It's
you,
a Holy War game.
yeah, no doubt. I mean, what you
Yeah,
got?
but SMU tried to mount a comeback late, but it wasn't enough.
I mean, the fact that Tyler Mordecai only threw for 218 yards, that speaks a lot to BYU's defense. But in a situation like that, why don't you just take the fans and put them in front of the cameras instead of having them on the press box side? I mean, if you're going to make it look full, put them on that side of the camera lens. Don't put them in, don't put them in expensive seats.
In all
Kinda like
fairness,
what they-
it was 25 degrees in Albuquerque too.
Oh, I'll buy the tickets. I ain't going. That ain't happening.
Definitely took a wrong turn in Albuquerque.
So- Yeah,
I was waiting for someone to say
ended
that.
up in Pismo Beach. Yeah, something tells me if it was 65 degrees, there still wouldn't have been anybody in the stands there for this game.
Well, no, I mean, I think that what they did was they scheduled it well with from a team from Dallas and a team from Provo. I mean, it's a decent regional matchup. But I think the biggest
Yeah, I just don't think the SMU crowd travels as well as the BYU crowd. And the BYU
Yeah.
crowd is like, it's 25 degrees. Why are we?
yeah, why am I?
SMU doesn't
why'd
always
you show
show up
up?
for SMU home games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a game that really doesn't mean anything.
So harumph on all of you. We just need better weather in Albuquerque. That's all.
Okay.
We need better weather for bigger crowds. Ooh, what a perk.
Novel idea.
Oh man.
Can't believe it was colder there than the Fenway Park Bowl.
That looked
And yet
frigid
they have
too.
roughly the same crowd.
I probably,
Okay, why do they have a blimp shot at the Fenway Bowl?
or was it a chopper shot? Was it a blimp shot or a chopper shot?
It looked a
Or
little
drone
too
shot.
steady to be a chopper shot.
Wasn't a chopper? You saying it
Yeah,
wasn't
but
The
a chopper.
drone.
Yeah, it
wasn't
could
a
have been a drone.
I'll put drone because if you had a
Yeah,
blimp when it's
drone.
that cold,
Yeah, it's probably a drone shot. My bad.
the wicked drone shot you got there?
somebody hit it with a
Yeah.
slingshot and they didn't use it the rest of the game.
Yeah, really.
Just peeking over the green monster.
Monster. You gotta get the shot. Make sure nobody shoots it down. Get the shot.
Get Donnie. He's wicked smart.
This first half went off the rails, but that's not a surprise.
No.
What bowl season's for?
Yes, those are your bowl games, folks. One other thing we should mention: Coach Dion goes out with a loss.
Yeah.
Love it.
Jackson State just has never responded well to the Celebration Bowl. They always will win the SWAC, but they were down 10-0 in a hurry. And the one thing that I will say is that the college football viewing public got to see Travis Hunter for the first time. If you haven't seen HBCU football, you haven't seen SWAC, you haven't seen Jackson State, everybody got to see Travis Hunter for the first time and see the true talent that he is as he heads with Shadur Sanders and Dion to Colorado. So he'll be in the Pac-10, 12, 14 next year.
And nobody really asked the question this week, but I'm curious how the dynamic was with Coach Prime coming back to coach this game, even though technically he's not the head coach.
Yeah, it's like, how do you let that happen?
That's a good question. I
That's
mean,
just,
normally, guys that take jobs in the carousel and leave their team during bowl season, they're gone.
Yeah.
and
They don't come
it's
back.
like, do you want him to recruit a little bit more during the bowl game to get more people to leave?
Yeah.
And then I was dying after the game when somebody actually had the nerve to post breaking news. Dion's son has decided to enter the transfer portal.
Yeah, I wonder where he's going.
After speaking with his parents, he has decided to enter the transfer portal.
Gee, Shadur, where are you heading?
Yeah.
Start quarterback Folsom Field, Boulder, Colorado, 81009.
His first visit scheduled for the University of Colorado.
It'd be hysterical if an Alabama bag band cuts him off at the pass.
It would be kind of funny.
Oh, that'd be epic.
or
I would donate to the NIL down there just to see that happen.
Or Jimbo Fisher pays him off to come down to College Station.
But
Yeah, there's plenty of room open.
Please.
I was going to say, speaking of the quitter, the most players that currently are in the portal and are portaling out of College Station.
Yeah.
Shocking.
Ah,
Well, come on. They see the writing on the wall.
What's the
It's not
total
going
at now?
anywhere,
Last
but-
time I looked, it was like 19.
yeah, that's about right.
Jeez, oh, man. So do they get like a rebate for what they got paid, or
What are you gonna sit there and say I want my money back?
are they? Do they pay them out monthly, or were they pay them up front?
Well, I'm guessing they paid them all up front.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think the deal is
Not for long.
is refundable.
Here's my,
You're
Read
going
the
to see a
fine
change.
print.
You're going to see a change with how that money's getting doled out.
yeah
Oh, I believe.
the firm wanders over to insert athlete here. Here's my receipt. I'd like my money back, please.
When schools are getting $60 million a season from their TV deal, yeah, I don't see that money getting really accounted for that tightly.
Mhm.
There's only so many new facilities that you can build.
Yes.
Oh, there's improvements that have to be done, right?
Sure. Like get a new head coach.
Raises. Yeah, you got to pay for coaches that no longer coach for you.
Yeah, which apparently the NFL's cracking down on, by the way, which I find somewhat ironic.
Well, yeah. I mean, come on now. I mean, irony in the NFL, they're like this. They're best friends. Duh.
I mean, the NFL has other issues with their hiring of coaches, but that's not one that I would compare with college football, where you could pretty much be gone in a strong breeze in college football.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That is true. But
Guys,
that's the what? Oh no. What'd you find out now?
We should probably talk about this at least before we move on because it's transfer portal time as well.
It's portaling week, yes.
It is portaling week. Some interesting moves. Surprisingly, I was very, very surprised to see that Spencer Sanders is bailing out in Oklahoma State. That was one that caught me off guard.
I think that relationship between Gundy and Spencer Sanders kind of soured this year, and it's best for both parties to separate.
Another one that's another interesting name, and I'm curious to see who's going to go after him, is former Coastal Carolina quarterback Grayson McCall, who threw his name in after 3 years of starting down out there at Coastal.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he's trying to weasel his way into a major college program. After 3 years of being in the mid majors, to see if he can. I guess he'll have a year of eligibility left to see if he can use that to perhaps win a national championship. Ain't going to happen at Coastal. And what top program will be interested in him?
And the question would be, who do you think would be somebody that would be interested in a quarterback like him?
Florida.
Yeah, I can see Florida. I could see anybody with quarterback needs, which is probably 75% of major college football programs. But which ones are in it will be in the hunt next year for not only to win a conference championship, but maybe compete for a national championship. I think the TCU might be a landing spot too. They because I think Max Duggan, this is his last year of eligibility, so that might be a landing spot. Any place, I'm thinking Arkansas too. KJ Jefferson is announced, and so I mean, there's a lot of possibilities for him to look for a place to land and perhaps win a championship.
It's fascinating to me to see some of the interesting names out there. And Devin Leary from North Carolina State, he's got experience. He's played for a few seasons and has put up some pretty decent numbers for the Wolfpack. You would think that a school looking for somebody could very well be jumping in on him, but he hasn't landed anywhere yet.
Oh, it's still early. Don't
worry. He had two quarterbacks leave Michigan.
True.
Although one, Cade McNamara went to Iowa and he took a tight end with him.
Like, why?
Package deal.
Why would you go to the NCAA's worst offense?
Because you're going to start.
And
you're going to be behind a lot, so you'll get to chuck it.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'm just still stuck back at the whole thing with McNamara going to Iowa. It's like, here, I'm going to hand the ball off.
Now, I'm going through the list of guys who are in the portal as we speak, and I had to stop at this one because it just made me laugh. Arguably my favorite name. Fourth-year junior cornerback from the leaving the University of North Carolina, Storm Duck.
Oh, there's only one destination for that young man.
Yeah, Oregon.
There is only one place he's got to go.
Absolutely. Oregon.
That is a walking endorsement.
No doubt. Absolutely. Or does he go to Oregon State and basically tell Oregon,
duck you.
Duck you.
Ooh.
There you go.
There you go.
Man, I'm going to move and start making T-shirts.
Sorry, I couldn't resist the name.
You could retire on that T-shirt up there.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt. Yeah.
Anyway, guys, what do you say we wrap up the first block here of the show and we go to break?
Yes.
And we come back in the second half, we will talk about this coming week's bowl games. There's a pretty lengthy list, and it may take a while, so hopefully you will stick around, be patient, and bear with us, as we will be back in just about a minute for the second half of the College Football X. You are listening to College Football X on the OSG Sports Podcasting Network.
Please like and subscribe.
Hey, I'm Willie Nelson.
Thousands of veterans are living on our streets right now where they're being robbed, beaten, and even killed.
And if this happened behind enemy lines, we'd be outraged. So please help us get our veterans into safe, permanent housing. Donate any amount at veteransmatter.org. Or you can text VETS to 41444. They fought for us, and now we fight for them. Veterans Matter.
Warning. Orthopedic surgeons are seeing an increase in overuse injuries when young athletes perform the same repetitive stressful motions over and over. Pitching, tennis, weight training, even long swimming workouts can cause overuse trauma that may require surgery. If your kids play and train hard, visit orthoinfo.org or stopsportsinjuries.org. A message from the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons and the American Orthopedic Society for Sports Medicine.
Pain heals. Chicks dig scars. Glory.
Thanks for sticking around, everybody. You made it to the second half of the show. This time it's the part where we talk about randomly named bowl games in faraway places. And there's a boatload of them, guys. It starts on Monday afternoon in Conway, South Carolina at the Myrtle Beach Bowl where Marshall takes on the Fighting Jim Moras of UConn.
Why is UConn in a bowl game?
Because they're 6-6.
I know. It's a rhetorical question.
It should be how.
Yeah, that's true. How are they in a bowl game?
Hey, schedule it.
It's because you've been conned.
Yeah, I mean, if you win 6 games in college football, if you win 6 games, and sometimes even if you only win 5 games, you're pretty much assured of a bowl game when you got 43 games and 130 college football teams.
Yeah, remember last year they made up an extra bowl.
That is true.
So I'm curious if Husky fans are going, hey, the women's team, basketball team's playing, football team's down in Myrtle Beach. Which one do they pick?
Women's team.
Only there. Yeah, exactly. Only there would it be a debate. And how many Husky fans actually came down to Myrtle Beach or know what Myrtle Beach is? We all know what it is. It's a fun place to go.
And not at 2:30 on a Monday the week before Christmas.
Yeah, I'm thinking 5,000 people are going to be in the stands on the teal turf.
Yep. Marshall's 11 and 40.5 is the total.
Now, what day is that cold weather supposed to completely hit the East Coast?
It'll be
before or after that.
It's supposed to be 50 at kickoff.
Yeah, it's not warm here now, but it's really supposed to get cold at the end of the week.
Thanks for the reminder. Tickets as low as $28 on the secondary market, by the way.
What a bargain.
And this game feels like a 14-10 type of game, especially with Marshall's defense. So we'll see if UConn's offensively challenged on the teal turf. But I like Marshall on this one.
Marshall in the under. Marty?
I'm going to take UConn just because as a Youngstown State graduate, I hate Marshall.
And
I'm taking them. I don't believe it. I'm just taking UConn out of spite.
And I'm going to take UConn only because I want to see Mora actually win games at UConn just because of the punchlines that write themselves off of that.
All right.
The next day, the bowl games move to Boise. We talked about Boise earlier. The 3:30 afternoon game on ESPN, the famous Idaho Potato Bowl featuring Eastern Michigan and San Jose State.
So what you're saying, we're going from the teal turf to the Smurf turf.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're saying.
All in the shading.
Exactly.
Gimmick field to gimmick
Do
field.
not adjust your television.
No. Tickets as low as $5 to get in the door. San Jose State is a 4, and your total is 53. Temperature at kickoff, a brisk 19 degrees.
Wow.
Yeah, that's going to be a great reward for the Sparties and for Eastern Michigan Eagles.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've said for years,
for Sparty, that's a lateral move.
Consider that game a reward for anything.
Mm-hmm.
You get prize.
So what is the over-under in the crowd here? 1,500?
No. This is civic pride for Boise. I think you'll get.
I agree.
In the lower bowl. I think you'll get a decent crowd in the lower bowl. It'll be tight shots, nothing but tight shots. But I think that you'll get a decent crowd because this is for Boise. this is like something that is actually tied to the community, and so they want to show up and show out. I think you'll get a decent crowd.
What I expect though is probably one of the more entertaining games of the bowl season, because you got two teams that rarely make it to bowl games, and this is probably a big deal for San Jose State and Eastern Michigan to play in a bowl game. So, I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. You're going to see a lot of frosty breath, and I think it's going to be one of the fun ones to watch.
We'll see.
You did not convince Phil with that, Wilkie.
I will say Eastern Michigan somehow managed to make it to an 8-4 record this year. San Jose State 7-4.
Action, brother.
Action all the way.
Action and action.
Right now, San Jose State favored by 4. We'll see if that actually happens. But yeah, why not? Take the Spartans in this one. What do you got to lose?
All right.
And then the late game in the beautiful lights of FAU State, Florida Atlantic University Stadium, in Boca Raton. It's the roofclaim.com Boca Raton Bowl, featuring Liberty and Toledo.
Marty, what do you think the swag bag is?
Wow.
Construction equipment?
List of ambulances to chase? I'm not even sure. This makes me think we should be doing a segment called Bowl Game or Bullshit, where we say the name of a sponsor, and our viewers will have to tell us whether it's a real bowl game or it's bullshit.
We kind of did that a couple years ago.
Seems like a good bit. I cannot even imagine what the swag bag is.
It's aluminum.
Maybe stuff from other bowl games.
Aluminum siding.
One of those little gray pieces of blue pieces of chalk that you use to mark hail damage when they take the pictures.
And blue tarp. You get the blue tarp as well.
You get your photo taken with the guy from the Allstate ads.
There you go.
For Mayhem?
Yeah. Or at least the mascot Mayhem. If not the real thing.
Mascot hand.
Mayhem.
And the same watch he has. That might be in there.
Pack of tools.
Okay, so now here's another interesting element in this. Previous sponsors have been Marmot and Cheribundi Tart. So
I remember when it was Cheribundi, because we had to look it up to see what the heck Cheribundi was.
I remember that.
Brand name for a tart cherry drink. So maybe they have cases of the Cheribundi Tart stuff left over that they're going to give the kids in the swag bag with the aluminum siding.
I wonder how well that stuff ages.
So it's probably in some.
Might still be there from the last game.
That's what I'm saying. It's probably buried under the stands at Ricardo Silva Stadium on the campus of Florida Atlantic University. 75 degrees at kickoff at 7:30. I've got to go with Toledo because Liberty has completely and totally ished the bed ever since they beat Arkansas
and lost their head coach.
I was going to say, how interested will Liberty be in this game with Hugh Freeze no longer there? And Jimmy Chantwell coming his way. I like Toledo in this game too. I'll be shocked if Liberty's interested in playing in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I'm going to stand behind them action.
That's our boy. He's the poster child from.
Yeah, just don't see Liberty being that interested. But hey, you never know.
Nope.
Wednesday evening. We have the RNL Carriers New Orleans Bowl featuring Western Kentucky and South Alabama.
This will be sneaky good. I think it will. I mean, South Alabama's 4.5.
This game usually has a Louisiana team in it, doesn't it?
Well, I mean, it just depends on where you finish in the standings in the conferences. But Western. And like I said, 4.5 and your total's 56. Western likes to sling it around the yard. I'll take the over. South Alabama's at 10-2. And I think everybody gets an 18-wheeler to take home with them.
Oh, nice.
Arnell Carriers.
Definitely a trucker hat in that bag.
Yeah, those things ain't cheap either.
Or maybe like the Tyco version, like the model truck that we used to get when we were growing up at Christmas. Like from Hess or something. Maybe RNL gives everybody one of those trucks. That'd be pretty sweet.
Nice scale model.
Yes, Zach.
I'm taking Western Kentucky there. They'll sling it around, and they're going to be in a dome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Austin Reed's thrown for 4,200 yards, 36 touchdowns. I saw Austin Reed this year, and Western has no conscience. I mean, the game will go for 4 hours. Supposed to start at 9 o'clock. It'll keep going until Thursday morning East Coast time, just because it's going to be all over the place.
For a smaller school, they actually travel.
Yeah.
And I see Austin Reed is on some lists from NFL scouts. So I think he's going to want to show out a little bit and show what kind of skill level he has before he goes to combines and stuff. So I like Western Kentucky too.
Yeah, figure on a 4+ hour game. You'll wake up in the morning and you may or may not get a final score in this one. Thursday night, the Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl featuring Baylor and the Air Force. Marty, are you going to this one at Amon G. Carter Stadium in Fort Worth?
Yes, that'll be my second game of the 4 bowl game DFW area tour.
Yes.
Marty is hitting 10% of all bowl games this season.
Yes, I am. I'm taking this podcast very seriously.
That makes
Somebody should.
If you tune in, it's they do one of the better ball deliveries of bowl games. They have one from each of the armed forces. They nighttime, pitch black out. They are doing skydiving, and each one is carrying a flag.
The game ball.
Yep, they bring the game ball down, and it was last year we had a bunch of wind, and every single person hit the 50-yard line. It was unbelievable.
Wow.
I didn't even know it was coming. All of a sudden, they started playing Van Halen Jump, and then you started seeing they all had smoke trails that started as soon as the music started playing. So you saw one, then the other, and then the other, and they all circled the stadium a few times, and then boom, right on to 50.
Yeah, that reminds me of a story from my ACC days when Carolina and Duke had home football games. One was kicking off; they were kicking off about 30 minutes apart, or maybe an hour apart. But the game ball was supposed to be delivered to Chapel Hill for a parachute game ball to Chapel Hill on the 50-yard line. And instead, while the warm-ups are going on at Wallace Wade in Durham, they showed up there. Instead, you see these players looking up and scrambling because this guy in a parachute comes down with a ball.
We got to find the video of that and drop
50.
it in.
I know where the video is. I just don't know if I have access to it anymore.
Well, maybe it's on the YouTubes.
It might be, but you see these players looking up and scrambling, and a guy with a game ball picking up his parachute and just walking off the field.
That's amazing.
Classic.
Baylor's 5.5. Your total's 48. 32 degrees at kick, and you can get in the door for as low as $17.
Woo-hoo. Roughly the price of a meal at Applebee's.
Now, Marty, how much will T-shirts be?
Yeah, really?
30.
30.
It's ESPN or the 4-letter,
No, they'll be
and I'm
$6.
going to say $30.
There you go.
All right. A couple hours after the game, there'll be $5. There you go.
There it is.
I've got to say how disappointed I was at the swag for last night's bowl game. The matchup football was only a mini football, and the logo was a sticker on it.
Oh.
Times have changed, my friend.
Stellar
It was sad.
Stellar investment by the Frisco Bowl folks. Come on now.
You do better.
Yeah, do better. I gotta go Baylor here. I think Baylor covers. I think Air Force is going to try to limit possessions, but I don't think that's going to happen. I'll go Baylor in the over.
Yeah, a few more
Bears.
athletes.
I'm going Air Force.
Okay, there you go.
A few more athletes on the Baylor sideline there. Yeah, I got to go with them in this one as well. We move on to Friday afternoon in Shreveport, Louisiana.
Yes.
A game featuring the Louisiana Raging Cajuns and the University of Houston.
Woohoo! Go Cajuns!
Yeah.
Oh, we know
Phil,
who
did
you're
you put
for.
a filter on your voice?
That was Sam. Oh, I mean, when we know what Phil's what the boss is doing at Phil's place at 3 o'clock on Friday afternoon.
We
And
also
I'm
know
willing
his
to-
pick already.
I'm willing to bet there'll be a sellout crowd at that stadium there in Shreveport that looks more like a state fair than than anything else.
Been there,
How
covered.
far
Been there too.
from Lafayette?
A good ways. About 3 hours.
Okay, it's about a 3-hour drive
Yeah,
apparently.
it'll be a packed house for this
It's a
one.
home game.
Packed house, absolutely a packed house. And 33.
Houston's not that far away either.
No, Houston's not that far away from Shreveport either. Yeah,
33.
and there's good gambling going on in Shreveport, Bossier City.
Yeah, but if you've been to Houston, the first 3 hours of that drive are just getting out of Houston.
True.
I'm sure. Yes, I've been to Houston.
$12 get-in price, 33 degrees at kick.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going Cajuns.
Yeah, I'll go Cajuns.
I'll take the home team too.
Hey, Louisiana's a 7-point dog, and the total's at 58. I'll take the dog in that one.
Plus, my first national championship in NCAA football was with the Raging Cajuns.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and you know who I'm picking because I can't pick anybody else.
That is true. You're picking
Or our next episode, Phil's gonna be outside.
Calling in from my phone out on the carport.
I mean, Wilkie's done that before, but that's
Yeah.
And then Friday night's game, the Union Home Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl.
All the players get mortgages.
Wake Forest and Missouri.
They get a reasonable rate.
I'm trying to figure out what a mortgage company has to do with Gasparilla.
Probably sharing the cost of the lead sponsorship of the thing. Wake is the point favorite. Totals at 60, and the get-in price is $32.
$32 to get into the giant pirate ship to watch this one. Ooh boy!
Especially at 7 and 5 and 6 and 6.
I'm not sure what the entertainment factor is on this one.
Nope.
No.
Yeah. I mean,
Wake may throw it 80 times, but Missouri's gonna. I'm shocked they made it to a bowl game this year.
Well, Arkansas tried.
Yes. Yeah.
If I got to pick, if you're putting a gun to my head to pick this one, I would be a smartass and say the team in black and gold.
There you go. There it
But
is.
I got to go with the Mizzou Tigers.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
Well, actually, considering, I guess I'm not that shocked. Yeah, I got to go with Wake Forest in this one. Like the Fighting Sam Hartmans.
Yeah, I'll go with Wake in that one, Marty.
Yeah, I'm jumping on the Wake bandwagon as well, just to make some of our friends happy.
And one more game before we meet again. The Easy Post Hawaii Bowl featuring Middle Tennessee State and San Diego State.
I will volunteer to engineer the hell out of that show.
I want to know how much money it's
work
cost
for
Middle
free.
Tennessee State to play in that game.
Yeah.
That's a long trip.
Yeah.
They got some deep-pocketed or donors that are probably writing some checks for that and enjoying a nice Hawaii Christmas vacation.
That's probably also sanctioned by a certain degree by tourism and things like that, and by the Convention and Visitors Bureau on the Big Island or something like that to promote. And for those of you that might have missed it last year when the game was supposed to happen and didn't, Easy Post Hawaii Bowl had the best social media account ever during bowl season. Because the guy who was in charge of it was in an empty stadium, and he's like, heard there was a game today. No one's there. But literally that whole train of thought, and the guy had so much Easy Post Hawaii Bowl swag, he was trying to give it away on social media during the time that the game was actually going to be played. And so, I mean, it was fantastic. And I'm still trying to figure out how to get Easy Post Hawaii Bowl stuff from last year for this one. San Diego State's a 7. Your total's 49.5. Get-in price is $30 at the TC Ching complex, and a robust 77 degrees at kickoff on Saturday. Christmas Eve.
I'm just curious which Middle Tennessee State team's going to show up. When they're bad, they're awful, and when they're good, they're damn good.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably the most schizophrenic team in college football.
Yep.
But San Diego State's got no offense, but man, their defense can play.
Mm-hmm. So you're taking the under? You taking?
I got no read on this game, but if I got to pick it, I'm going to go with the Aztecs.
Okay.
Yeah, why not?
I can go Aztecs and under. Marty?
I'm going to go under, but I'm going to take Middle Tennessee because they're going to be happier to be in warm weather. San Diego's kind of used to it, so there might be a little bit blah. Middle Tennessee's going to be super happy to get down there.
Marty just digs the dog in these shows. He's just like picking the underdog because he can pick an underdog. I don't blame him.
Don't get me wrong. If I can move anywhere, San Diego is it.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Hawaii's it, so you can be a part of the Easy Post Hawaii Bowl.
Yeah, I'll go there just for the swap meet.
Oh, that's awesome. But so Christmas Eve, the Hawaii Bowl. So not a surprise that it's. I'm glad it's back because that's always one of those things that you always watched. It was. You always had the bowl game on Christmas Eve, and that was what kind of got you into Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and then
And how many times are we going to hear Mele Kalikimaka?
Entirely too many. I'll say over under is.
Who does he play for?
He's poor.
BYU.
Yeah, really.
I'm just trying to figure out if he's a nephew or not.
Yeah. Hey, Marty, check it. I'll go 4.5 on Mele Kalikimaka as bump music in the show. I'll go 4.5. 2 in the first half and then 3 in the second half as they're trying to impress upon us that it's the Christmas season.
I'm sure if Don Ho isn't dead, he'd be performing at halftime.
Oh God, they might have an impersonator.
Try it, just like prop him up like Weekend at Birdie's and just call it like Weekend at Don Ho.
Hey, Don Ho impersonator. I love it.
I do like their Jumbotron. They do the Chihu cam, and they'll actually have a raft. And when they frame up your group of people in the stands, you're supposed to row.
Very nice. Very nice. That's solid.
The hard part's going to be getting 4 people sitting close enough together to make it look like they're in the same boat.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to, let me see how many people TC Ching seats. I mean, it's not
15, 20.
Yeah, I mean, so it'll be a packed house.
Packed house with a 4,000 seat sellout.
Yeah, and I mean, they do that on purpose. I mean, because when we had all the All-Star games and the bowl games and everything, I mean, you always had the Aloha and the Oahu, and it was, all right, where is it? Give me, all right, so history.
You should sponsor with Illinois Hawaiian Barbecue and serve that. You get a lot more people.
Seating capacity of 9,300, expanding to 17,000 next year. So there you go. So 9,300, you'll get 9,300 people in there to see that game. I think you'll get a lot of folks
that
who
would make it one of the smaller high school stadiums in Texas, wouldn't it, Marty?
Yeah, Allen High School's band would fill that by themselves. They can't do march. They can't march. They actually take up the whole field.
Oh wow. That's just kind of sway back.
Of course, they had to not use their multi-million-dollar high school stadium for 1 year because of foundation problems.
That is true. I remember.
They should go back to that other bowl game we mentioned earlier.
I mean, it was what, a $40 million facility, and they cut corners in building it, and so there were foundation issues, and they couldn't go there and play. Smart.
So they played for a year, then took a siesta, and then they're back.
God. That's a show, kids.
Yep, I think it's time to put a wrap on it, guys. We've run out of things to talk about, at least for now.
Yes.
So hopefully you'll stick around next week. We go through the final and arguably the biggest week of the college football season when we talk about games on Christmas Day, all the way leading up to and through New Year's, including
New Mexico State Bowling Green in the Quick Lane Bowl, brother. I can't wait.
I've got one question to ask you guys that comes from what gear I should wear to the Cotton Bowl.
Oh.
I was considering, and my brother Monty really supports this idea of wearing my Ohio State jersey and just holding up a piece of cardboard that says "Thank you."
I actually like that.
I do too.
Yes.
Because it's tradition. I really like to wear my Ohio State Johnny Utah jersey to games.
There you go.
I think that's good for at least one cutaway, and then I'll just flip it over and have OSG and all of our social contacts on it.
There it is. There it is. There's your play right there.
On that note, we'll wrap it up for OSG Nelson, for OSG Wilkie, and for Brother Marty. I am Brother Phil. We are the Online Sports Guys. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll catch you again next week. Bye.
Please like and subscribe.